like on interview time?
There we go.
Okay.
Interview during game because I actually know the deck. Because outside of just like a couple sideboard pieces,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a seat with everybody. Watch some magic happen.
Here, if you want to sit over here, I'll move.
You guys have a really, really nice setup too. Like,
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It works a lot better if there's not a chimpanzee trying to run it. Is the big thing.
I mean, look, man, don't be so hard on chimpanzees. Ragavan's a good fight. I mean,
Ragavan's won me a couple games.
man, brother.
So
Like Ragavan is a hot mess.
So we have our own like stream people trying to do it at our shop, and it's just they're still trying to like get it off the ground.
Yeah. So this is actually, I believe, the second iteration that we've tried to do the stream. You know, and that's always the difficult thing. When things start in a very rudimentary way, you don't find the best way to handle it until you make those mistakes, until you figure out the way to fine tune things. But yeah, like it's pretty wild.
So this matchup's going to be very weird
Yeah.
because the glimpse combo needs to go off before he can wish for Chalice on 0.
Wow. So with glimpse combo, so this is okay. So this looks like a little bit of a. So is basically glimpse combo sort of like 4-color elementals?
No, actually, this is a new version I have never seen. Usually, the glimpse combo was they would just flip. They put like Colony Garden.
Yeah.
They get the 1/1, and then they would flip into Emrakul.
Yeah.
I think what this deck is doing is outside of just having the glimpse combo, he also just has a mid-range matchup, so he can't just fully rely on it. But it's still a good value.
Yeah. Well, like so the cards. So we're
It's going to be glimpse of what now?
Glimpse of Tomorrow.
Glimpse of Tomorrow.
Glimpse of Tomorrow. So being the moderators, we get to kind of examine things in a very cheaty way because we're looking at the deck lists, and from the deck list, you're looking at things like Omnath, your Endurance, your Risen Reef, your Wave Sifters, like a lot of value cards, elemental based value.
Yeah. So he has a backup plan outside of just flipping his entire deck into something big and scary.
Yeah.
Because I remember a buddy of mine, he was playing the deck, and it either absolutely ravaged who was ever in play, or he just kind of watched his deck do nothing.
Yeah.
But at least with this one, because he has Risen Reef, he also has
always have
Omnath
that
just
card
kind of catch up.
advantage.
He can just keep going.
Yeah.
Let's be real, Omnath can just carry games.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. It's like Monkey. It's like you have these cards where me and John Kiribati were talking earlier with Fire Design where they're just going to sit there and just crank the dial all the way up, break it off, and then, it was like the elemental matchup. So Kiribati, Paul Carroll, like I brokered the deck that Paul's playing today, the elemental deck. I didn't even know what Feign Death did. I didn't know what Undying Evil and Undying Malice do. And then I read them. I'm like, this is a bad time.
It was rough because it's already bad enough that Fury just kind of board wiped me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dealing that much damage. And then the fact that with Undying Evil or the Feign Death, where you come in with a counter on it, it's already a double strike creature. Now, in your case, you were able to put some tokens out to chump.
For a while.
Double strikers do not want to see chump walls.
No.
But if that is an open swing, good God.
And look, he just did it.
Yep, he just glimpsed off.
He got Wish and got Chalice on 0.
Oh.
So right now, unless he has main deck Artifact Tape, his Glimpse combo is basically shut off. So now,
He's the guy go mid range.
Yeah, so now it's pretty decent the fact that he can now he just has to go Omnath and Elementals. Now he just played Risen Reef.
Okay.
So he's
going to start being able to dig through.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's another thing about Risen Reef. So when I was trading for people and hustling for people, that you have these weird, what should be ubiquitous uncommons, right? Your Risen Reefs, your Mystical Disputes, and they're gone.
Yeah.
Like either people have them already and they don't want to give them up, or they just don't have them. And like this is a perfect example of a card where it's good coming, it's good going. Especially the weirdest stuff is when you have multiple Risen Reefs on the field and you just see those triggers just start just tanking. It's crazy.
So right now, if he can find a Valakut,
Yeah,
he's going to start hosing him down.
yeah.
But I like this new glimpse stack. It has the
It's
backup
really
plan.
neat. It's really fun. Like I love. We were just talking earlier.
What
you
is
know,
that?
which card?
What is that? Uncommon. Oh, is that a seasoned pyromancer?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, Spyro. Yeah, it's Spyro.
That's pretty good because now he can dump the glimpses that are just going to be completely terrible.
Yep.
Which he didn't discard anything.
Do you have cards in hand to discard?
He still shouldn't get.
So I think with Seasoned Pyromancer, let me double.
He's also swinging with it, and it just came into play. I'm a little confused.
Oh yeah, now I'm confused.
Yeah, like
Actually-
they just came into play.
Actually, in Zach's absence, let me brave the field to see actually what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. One moment, everyone.
Yep. It's like he didn't discard anything, so he doesn't get tokens,
It
right?
definitely does not have haste.
And it definitely does not have haste, unless I'm missing something completely.
Although it might not matter with prime time coming down.
Is he about to slam a prime time? He slams
He
a.
already prime time's on the field.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a secret there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With double Valakut.
So it's actually Scrounging Scourger. So what he's playing, it's an elemental that brings some elementals in, but it's all hasty.
Oh, okay. That makes
So it's
sense.
not.
Okay.
So it's not Spyro.
Okay, I was about to say, like,
Yeah.
so we were looking at it like how it goes. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to throw that card up on the thing.
Yes, actually, once that comes back, because he thinks he's the monkey. I don't even use Discord.
All right, so he just won. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Titan just won. He slammed
So
Titan.
you know the math better than I do. What is the math with Titan getting 2 Valakuts with a Dryad out?
That is, it's at least 12 damage, I think.
Is it 12 damage?
So each one checks as each one comes in. So it's 3 and 3, and then 3 and 3. So it's just the second you have Dryad in play and you cast Titan and you get 2 Valakuts and you have 5 other lands, it is 12 damage to the face.
That's
On top of the fact, if he had a fetch land, that is just basically lethal. In any matchup that has at least fetched once.
yeah.
And Glimpse without having the Glimpse combo, do they really have an answer to answer a Titan? If they can't get over the top of it?
No.
No, because unless there's enough elementals on the field,
Where's the other?
it's right there. It's
Yeah,
right
because
there.
I want to see what he has in his
So
sideboard.
unless there's enough elementals on the field to just try to do like a vicious combat damage trade,
Ooh. Okay, so the Glimpse deck has Teferi Time Raveler, Mystical Dispute, Foundation Breaker, and Brazen Borrower, and those probably are not coming in, but he does have 4 Leyline of Sanctities and 2 Magus of the Moon, which will significantly shut down the Valakut deck.
yeah.
The thing is like Leyline of Sanctity is cool. It does stop it, but Wish is a very powerful thing. Now, I don't know if he has it.
Does he
He
have?
has a Nature's Claim in the side.
Yeah.
So
Just one or more?
Just one. So as long as he here's the other thing. As long as he doesn't have 2 ley lines.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it is, it feels very rough to be able at the very beginning of the game to drop that ley line to go ahead and set yourself up a level of protection, especially with London Mulligan. You can just sit there and just keep
Yeah.
shuffling down to where you feel comfortable, especially with a combo deck, very much like Trauma. You just keep mulliganing to the 3 or 4 pieces you need, and then just to have that one Nature's Claim be your only out. And like you said, if there's multiple ley lines, things are going to get weird.
So if he gets 1 Leyline of the Void in play, the Valakut player has basically 1. Oh no, he has 2. He has 2 outs, which is the Nature's Claim after he gets it from Wish, unless he mainboards it, which I don't
With
recommend
Wish,
that.
Yeah.
The
You're better
other
off when
thing,
Wish
he
to
does have a
fetch it.
Besage, which
Okay.
that's a little. It's a little harder to find, But it is relevant.
It is there.
It is relevant.
Can you wish for Boseiju if it's in the sideboard?
Yes.
Okay.
You can also wish if it's just in exile.
Channel. Does channel say you have to discard from hand?
No. So if Boseiju was in his side, like he took it out and put it in his side, he could definitely wish it because
He can wish for
He
it,
can wish
and then
for it,
the
but it's not in
channel
his
effect.
hand. But can he channel it?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no,
once
wait.
it goes into your head.
Wait, you might have to.
Well, but wish doesn't put it into your hand.
Oh.
No, yes, it does. I think.
No, wish says.
Oh, wish says you have to cast it that turn.
Yeah, wish says cast the spell that turn. I don't believe you can channel from sideboard.
We gotta double check that ruling for sure.
Yeah.
And that's also
very
is
interesting.
Boseiju in the sideboard or in
Boseiju's in the main.
It's in the
Okay, so
main.
he probably doesn't board out Boseiju.
No, but that's something to keep in. Wow, there's so many things.
There's
You may play a game. Well, you may play a card you own from outside the game this turn.
But channeling's not playing.
It also doesn't say it goes to your hand.
No.
It's just like
You're doing an additional effect off of a
It would
card.
be like if you were trying to cycle a Street Wraith with Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do
Which you can't do.
Which and it doesn't really like it still uses the stack like it's a regular spell, or like in my case sometimes I've gotten Valakut just to make sure I got to play.
Right. Right.
But the crazy thing is this Valakut deck is really strong against 4-color. Most forms of Murktide, if you can keep them off the Magus or off of the Blood Moon, and there's none of those here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Although, like you were saying, it looks like the Glimpse player is mulliganing a lot to
He's
try to look for a lane.
mulliganing to Oblivion to either try to find that ley line to really buy him turn.
So my only caveat to that, a lot of times ley line is just a card that can win you the game.
Yeah.
However, I feel like because this isn't like a turn 2 combo, this is what, turn 4?
Yeah.
Turn 5?
Yeah.
So that ley line, even if he drops a ley line, the ley line might not even do anything for the first 4 turns. It might not even affect his game plan. And during that entire time, while he's already setting up to try to combo, he can also be looking for answers to the ley line.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the more he mulligans, the less likely it is for him to have multiple ley lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the problem. Like a London Mulligan really helps your combo decks get the couple of like synergistic pieces you need to just get in there and get the job done. But at the same time, you're going down and down and down, and if you don't have exactly what you need at exactly the right time, all our other players Sam will have to do is just be on curve and hit the points he needs.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So a potential how this game may very easily play out is he drops the ley line, and Sam just says, "Okay, I'm just going to drop a prime time on 4.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get my Valakats. I'm just going to get whatever other lands I want to get.
yeah,
And now can
just
you
be a beatdown
Can
deck.
you beat this prime time?
yeah,
And you're mulliganing. I'm not sure how far down he's mulligan to, but how fast can he be if he's mulling to 4 plus ley line? So that's almost a mold of 3 at that point.
yep.
All right, so he's mold to 6, mold to 5.
Okay, so it's only mold to.
All right, so he's only got 2.
Mold to 5 shouldn't be too bad.
Yep.
The thing is if he tries to go full on the Glimpse plan. Now, see, when I fight these Cascade decks with Wish Shift, I bring in 2 Chalices and I leave 1 on the side. Therefore, it guarantees that I have basically 6 copies of Chalice in the deck to try to just slam it down before it goes off.
Chalice. I want to give a quick shout out to Sarah, my girlfriend in chat. Hey, my dear. Thank you so much for joining us. So Sarah and I, we play Merfolk a lot.
Yeah.
And so I was telling Zach a story. I love Merfolk because one of my friends scape shifted out and they went all in on the scape shift trigger. So she Aether Vials a Spellskite in and just starts paying all the blue.
Yep.
And then when she ran out of blue,
every time.
yeah, and so Sarah had like 5 islands out, so she paid all of the blue. Then she started paying the Phyrexian mana, which you're still netting
net a
a
life.
You're netting a life.
netting a life.
And so he like kind of panics and goes to scape shift again, and he ran out of lands.
Yeah.
So like he was at 4 in the Valakut. so he was out.
So, to be completely honest, I don't think there is ever a chance to scape shift twice in a game.
Yeah.
You don't have enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that there's 2 scape shifts in the sideboard, but that's mostly for like the
if the first one gets counted.
if the first one gets countered, and then sometimes depending on the matchup, you can just bring one in and have one floating in the side.
What possible, like, are there specific matchups where scape shift is more prevalent, or is it just a contingency?
I would assume the faster decks, just because that gives you that I win button against
That's fair.
against burn,
Hammer time?
hammer time,
Yeah.
or you might not have time to just naturally draw enough lands to kill.
Yeah, the cool thing about scape shift, it's a double-edged sword, because if it's in your hand and you're doing good, it's basically death to whoever's across from you. But sometimes it is like the worst thing to have in your hand early game to try to survive. That's why when they went to the Wish shift, Wish was a great addition, because you don't want to have to be completely honest, when I was playing against the Living End player, he played Leyline of Sanctity. Scape Shift's a dead card now.
Yeah.
It is a dead card.
Because all it does is feed your Valakut combo.
It makes it where I have to target anything else, and it's just like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why it can be a dead card, especially post sideboard. Where instead now it's like, oh, I can't scape shift. Let me just get this Nature's Claim and kill that, and just naturally bolt you to death.
Now, something important to remember is Valakut is a May.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to bolt.
But again, if they have a Leyline of Sanctity on the field,
You really don't want to go.
you don't want to go there anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really think so. One of the comments I'd always made, with Yorion, Sky Nomad, is you get to have like these money piles of cards where, hey, this deck obviously is going to be good because you have like 100 cards that all do good things. It's like just pushing value, and I sort of feel like Wish being an addition main deck to these style of builds, so you don't have to go in and compete with 60 cards. You get to go in and compete with 75 cards.
Yeah.
And it gives you that flexibility and that mobility to just kind of just bounce on whatever foot you want to and just play whatever game you want.
All right.
So right now, Creed has Omnath, Locust, plus Risen Reef on the field. So let's see what Sam's going to do. He's
Now, I
coming
see
in
a
with Reef.
Wish in the graveyard.
Yep.
I think he might have wished for a land,
Yep.
or he might have. I don't know.
I see a Valakut on the field, so I'm wondering if he wished for land, so that he could go Dryad into land. And does he have a second?
If he has a second land, he could kill Omnath.
Because he has 1 bolt trigger currently.
No.
5. Oh, it's 5.
You need the 6th
one more.
land.
Yeah.
But he did get the Dwarven Mind to chump.
Okay.
There he goes. That's the
Yep,
bolt.
there's 6.
So if he gets that, he bolts Omnath.
And
he
it's a
fetches,
Bloodstain.
and he fetches.
And he pops and fetches.
He's always 6's Omnath,
Yep.
which is really going to help him out in the long run.
Yep.
The hardest part about the Valakut deck, in my opinion, sometimes is, do you want to kill the creature or do you want to go face? And because against the deck, so he just did Search for Tomorrow. He hard casted to kill the Risen Reef,
Yep.
just to completely wipe the board.
Yep.
So something important against glimpses, sometimes if you can just keep glimpses resources down, and they're only glimpsing for, so currently I believe it would be a glimpse for
It would be a glimpse for 5.
for 5. I was watching, I believe it was Creed play earlier, and he glimpsed for 4, and he just flipped over 4 lands.
Yeah.
It is a gamble deck for sure.
Yeah.
You really won't be trying to glimpse for 7 or 8.
That's why they play. He just played 2 lands at a turn. Oh no, never mind. He tapped the Stomping Ground. Okay, I see. The Sacred Foundry. Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Accusing people.
I'm just looking at it. It's hard. It's hard sometimes because like.
I mean, in our defense, we blinked at game 3 of you and Paul, and I just saw Paul with some mana, and I saw you with pretty much all 60 cards on your mat, like you were just building a deck. Like it was luxury cardboard rectangles for days. And Zach's like, what is he doing? I think he's winning.
So I had.
Usually if you have most of your deck on the field, you're winning.
What had happened was when I just started dumping my cards. I had just one through just like straight up just Valakut triggers.
Yeah.
And he had asked me like halfway through, he's like, what was the newest edition? Because he told me he didn't even know about Dryad.
No.
So I was like,
So Paul hasn't been playing in a hot second because right now, for the past 6 to 12, he's been on a second shift job. So with Dryad of the Elysian Grove coming in through Theros Beyond Death, there's been a hot minute where he's only been doing a lot of modern stuff. And realistically, Dryad of the Elysian Grove hasn't really been like a staple.
no, it's
Right? You have things, because for the longest
Only
time...
Amulet Titan.
Right, it's only Amulet
Amulet
Titan.
Titan.
But see, the thing is, and here's the irony that we were doing this, because, so I built this for me, and since I just hustle all day, I don't play Magic the Gathering. That's the running joke with us. I don't play Magic because I hustle it all day.
Sounds familiar.
he is
Right.
glimpsing right now.
So he's glimpsing. So he actually played, his main deck was always Amulet Titan. And I thought it was so funny that he comes to this first event back getting into the scene and is Rakdos mid-range. So,
That's 7.
He's getting 7 permanents off the top.
yeah. So let's just see.
So let's see what happens,
Yeah.
because this could be an See, this is why the Glimpse combo is like super terrifying and also can be just a complete.
Now, isn't there also a chance where if Sam just goes untap next turn with the Dryad out, he just goes Wish for Scape Shift and kills him as well, right?
We got Season Pyromancer, land,
Fury takes care of Dryad.
land.
Yeah.
So at least he kills.
He gets to refill his hand.
He gets to refill his hand and kill the Dryad, which is clutch.
With the way Glimpse is worded, so you mill so many, and what are the targets you get to?
So you exile the top X amount of cards.
It's right there.
Where X is the number of cards, X is the number of permanents you had on the field.
Okay.
And then you put
Non-aura permanent cards revealed this way.
Yep.
So he gets to get Fury and Fury.
basically every permanent outside of Orbs.
So he flipped 7 cards. He had 6 permanents and another Cascade spell, the actual spell. So that card went to the bottom, where everything else just goes straight into play. The cool thing about this is
if he has another Cascade.
if he has another Cascade, he can literally just do it again.
For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Good grief.
So-
and again, here's another Modern Horizons card.
Yep.
That's a train wreck. So
And he just slam plays Omnath.
yeah, that's a guy. That's a thing.
So he used the
That's a man doing
mana.
work.
He used the mana to trigger into the Glimpse of Tomorrow, and then just got a new everything to play Omnath.
Yeah, because he floated 3.
He floated all the mana.
Yep. That's great. That's amazing. And I've also noticed Creed always, so when we saw him play in the Pioneer event, so Creed was at the Pioneer 1K playing Soul Flayer with Zatalpa.
Yep.
And just, it was hilarious. It was the most funny thing I'd ever seen. So I had only played a little bit of Pioneer right before, as the Game Grumps would say, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour came back when COVID hit. And so Soul Flare was, it was okay. It was a thing. But then you get things like Zatalpa. He had so many cards underneath Soul Flare. It's like a Chroma Angel or Wrath. It was just easier to say what it didn't have. And it's just like a mess. And then he loves Mill. He also has like a weird
Man after my own heart.
blue. Yeah.
You and your
mono
mill
blue.
decks.
You know what? I can't say anything. So one of my favorite Pioneer decks is called Mr. Plow.
Yes.
It's mono white vehicles, Mr.
Yep.
Plow.
Yep.
Man, nothing feels good like watching an opponent tap out for a Narset Carter of Veils, and you play Armed and Armored with 3 Consulate Dreadnoughts on the field.
Yep.
That is 3 mana, 21 damage. And the other part with Armed and Armored, if you want, you can just go put a hammer on a dwarf you control.
Yep.
Just for no reason. Just let my 2 Craft Exemplar have a hammer. Just cause.
Yeah.
He is swinging for a.
Metric.
For a lot.
That's a metric ton of damage.
So right now he's probably fetching for a Dwarven Mine to
Get a chump
chump
blocker.
the Fury. And
Oh no, he probably bolts Fury.
Yeah.
So yeah, he does have the mountains in Valakut. So
Yep.
that is the other thing. we were saying that the other guy Paul hasn't been playing in a while.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are so used to Dryad and Amulet Titan that their main thing is, oh, if I kill that, he just violent outbursts to pump the team.
Yep.
Okay, this game's probably over.
Is he out of glimpses?
He can. So with the glimpse, he doesn't have to cast it.
I think so. With the violent outburst, like the violent outburst just gives everybody a pump.
It gives everybody 2 plus 2 plus 0.
Yeah.
So right now, what he's doing is I think he's sacking
double strike.
Well, the Fury was going to die because it's plus 1 plus O, and he targeted the Fury with the Battle Cat.
To be completely honest, if he is doing this in response, he should have sacked all the lands and just the creatures that were going to die.
Yeah.
That way, whatever was not blocked hit the person afterwards, because those tokens, I think Violent Outburst is plus 2 plus 0.
Is it plus 2 or plus 1?
I
believe it's all
Let's look it up.
plus 1. Yeah.
We will look it up.
He just pulled the Magus of the Moon off.
Plus
the
1 plus 0.
So all of his
plus 1 plus 0.
all of his. But here's the thing: all of his tokens were going to be slapping for 2.
Oh, that is crazy.
That is a doubled Magus of the Moon into.
Is that a Risen Reef as well?
No, it was the thing that you cycle and you get treasure tokens or whatever.
So since you guys play on a much more competitive level, I have to ask. With Glimpse of Tomorrow, the way the errata's worded is specifically put non-aura permanent cards onto the battlefield. Is there a reason that who?
For no auras.
Yeah.
Eldrazi conscription.
Well, no, that's no. It's how auras work.
That's also another thing.
It has because everything enters at the same time. You don't have anything to target with the aura.
Fair enough. So
you have to be able to target something with the aura. So you would end up having to put the aura on your opponent's creature.
So you can establish an aura.
No. I think they did.
So it's all at the same time.
So truth be told, Eldrazi conscription would be hilarious and just like dump everything, flip them all, get it. But in reality, I think they just did this so it was like avoided a weird rules question.
Yes, agreed.
I was about to say, I think a card that can flip an Emrakul into play, I don't think they're that worried about Eldrazi.
This is true.
Now, I will say,
all right, I think Creed actually won that round because he just locked him out with 2.
So we're up.
Right. He locked him out with Magus of the Moon and called it a day.
Yep. I do have to say, speaking of jank, another funny deck is Mono Red Storm Herald.
Yes, that was
that dude. So I love. Big shout out to Saffron Olive on MTG Goldfish. I love his randomness because it's a kid after my own heart. Because Sarah and I were playing a game, and so I turn 1 Burning Inquiry. And she had to discard both of her lands. And I put 2 Eldrazi conscriptions into the graveyard, and on turn 3 hit Storm Herald. Now, that's all funny. But the problem is when you have to tell your loved one who did not play an original Zendikar block what Annihilator is.
Yep.
So Sarah didn't know how the Annihilator trigger works, so she's like, okay, so I don't, there's nothing, this all happens beforehand. I said, yes. She goes, okay, I love that. I love you, but screw that, screw you. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And that's fine, because the next game she played Merfolk and turned all my mountains into islands, and it's okay.
Yep.
That's a life that can be led.
So a funny story about Burning Inquiry and Scapeshift. Back in, I believe it was 2018, I was playing in a PPTQ.
Yes.
And I was going against the 4-color Scapeshift.
Yeah, okay.
And that deck played almost the exact number of mountains to kill you. They didn't play like many extra mountains.
Yep.
And I was playing Hollow One at the time.
Yep.
And I just go turn 1, Burning Inquiry. They discarded 3 mountains, and they looked at me and they're like, I can no longer win.
Which is sad.
Yeah.
I have enough mountains to plus Ren 6 houses, but this is before Ren 6.
That's before Ren 6.
It's before Ren 6.
And so when you guys were playing, so when Paul was it Dreadboard when you Dreadboard terminated your Ren, I think it was Dreadboard. You Dreadboard your Ren 6, and you played another Ren 6.
Oh no! What it was is we even jokingly called a judge. So I turn 1 Valakut And he goes, turn 1 Thoughtseize, rips the Renin 6. And I was like, great, there goes my turn 1. I top deck the Renin 6, and I was like, you want to call a judge for a Thoughtseize bug? Because this is some bullcrap right here. And I just played the Renin 6, and Renin 6 absolutely took over again.
Yeah,
just absolutely
What
hosed
Renin
me.
6 does.
I think that's I think that's also the game where you just ended with your whole deck on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, and like I was, on stream, I was like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's the elephant in the room, or the dryad in the room, whatever you want to call it. Big tree swinging at you. Because it's just like cards like that are just dumb. Just dumb. Like even a reprint, I think that card may have gone down $2. Maybe, if that. I mean, and it's just one of those cards that's so strong, and then like the elementals are so strong. Like I'm really curious to see what Dominaria United does, because there's bound to be something stupid when you go back home. Every time we go back home,
Because we know
we're going to get something.
Because Karn's on the box.
Yeah, Karn's on the box,
So is Teferi.
and Karn and Teferi are hotwired to be stupid. It's like for Commander players who play Tiny Bones. You can't, I'm just going to make a Tiny Bones that's just like a 5 and it's real cat. No. You build a deck and you either build it stupid or go home. Take your ball and go home.
Yep.
Like Teferi, I have not seen one Teferi that is reasonable. Maybe the Commander one.
Well, maybe because the Commander one was like tier 0 for a while.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, untap my chain veil, do it again, do it again, do it
Yeah,
again.
exactly. So so I haven't seen one Teferi that ain't broken, and I most certainly haven't seen a Karn that's bad. Maybe Karn like Silver Golem.
Scion of Urza was good in standard, but I don't
Well,
think it's...
Scion of Urza
I
got...
would actually used to run maybe a 1 of or 2 of Infinity just
So,
for giggles.
to be completely honest, he is the worst of the Karns, and he's
But
not
he's
even,
still great.
and he's still not even
still
bad.
great.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like the worst of the Karns is pretty damn.
Although I gotta say, like, it hurt my heart because I run, I love running jank, I love running awful things. So
Chalice on 0, boys.
oh, there we go.
But does he have the foundation?
Okay, yeah. Does he have the Nature's Claim or Foundation?
Yep. Well, so it can't be Nature's Claim.
It can't be nature. No, it can.
No.
No.
No, because he'd cascade into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He'd cascade into it.
Oh crap.
So I think the only Teferi that has not seen play is Teferi who slows the sunset.
He has actually seen a little bit of standard play.
Is he seeing standard play?
He's he's like a 1 or 2 of in control builds.
He's a little clunky thing.
Yeah,
I haven't played much standard,
But
but
again, when Teferi is just a little clunky but still doing dumb
still
things.
doing dumb things.
Like,
Still doing good things.
I mean,
Resin Reef.
I personally am a player who I'm a burn kid, right? I'm an aggro kid. The running joke with all of our friends is that if I play blue, I have to do an EpiPen. Because I'm just allergic. I have the utmost respect for control, and I show that respect by not trying. Because I'm just like a little kid at a candy store. Do I counter it now? How about now? Can I counter it now? This isn't a lightning bolt. It's called a counter spell. Okay, cool. How about now? No. And so, like, when I play Merfolk, like, that's not really control. I'm hitting people with halibut. It doesn't count.
That's tempo.
It doesn't, it's tempo. It doesn't count. But I have a play set of Teferi Time Raveler in my sideboard, in my keep binder, if I want to do Infect. And I will run Bam Infect just to give people a hard time. It's like, now, you just wait for me to kill you. It's like, go over in the corner and grab your ankles. I'll be with you in just a moment. Like, those kind of cards, when you're literally slicing a card type off of the gameplay, when you take instant off of the gameplay field, how do you not see that as
He
rough?
Spyro and dumped the Foundation Breaker.
That's either really good or really
Wait a minute.
bad.
So with Spyro, do you discard?
You discard
to
first.
discard
You have to discard first. So he dumped.
So my only assumption would be that he has something else in hand,
Now,
because I think he was just Foundation Breaker and then Spyro next turn.
there is a possibility of, however slight, there is 2 in the side.
So you could have that. But his Foundation Breaker is only answer to Chalice in the sideboard?
Yeah. So I.
Unless hard counter, unless
the-
he mystical disputed it from why would you
obviously-
can't do it?
So there's a Dryad. So I don't know why he would do that because like that would just kind of shut off the combo. But to be completely honest, we're kind of walking in a little late to the party with this.
Yeah.
But that seems very peculiar. Unless he has.
I'm assuming he has something in hand.
The only thing I can think of is that he has Magus of the Moon in hand and has decided to ditch the Glimpse combo.
But
and
I
just,
feel like at that point you're playing Magus or you're playing Foundation Breaker before the Pyro.
yeah.
I'm going on the assumption that he does have something in hand.
We're gonna see. It's his turn. We're gonna see if he's got something good going because
There is a chance that he just goes Evoke Foundation Breaker, destroy the Chalice in response to the Evoke trigger, Violent Outburst.
I want to know.
oh, he had a second one.
Yep, there it is.
Okay.
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 So he did.
And he did exactly what you just did.
But he sacked
Outburst.
he sacked the Foundation Breaker.
So I don't know if you can do that.
You can stack the triggers. You can stack the triggers where you go sacrifice and then the destroy trigger.
Yeah.
You allow the destroy trigger to resolve, and in response to the sacrifice trigger, you Violent Outburst.
And then layers get weird, but they get there.
Layers do get kind of weird.
But you can do that. That's another thing about Evoke, because even if you have to sacrifice the creature, it's like why it makes Feign Death so stupid, because it just makes cards like that much stronger, because you can guarantee that death trigger, you can guarantee that combo effect.
Yeah. So similar to the Grief Ephemerate plan.
Yeah.
You can go because the biggest issue.
So card.
The biggest problem for going any of the incarnation, any of the evokes into Ephemerate,
Yep.
is that they killed a creature in response to the Ephemerate.
Yep.
But with cards like Grief, you can look at their hand, take the removal for the Grief,
Yeah.
and then make sure it
4,
clears way
5,
for the Ephemerate.
6, 7.
Oh,
That is a gross.
Now
flip.
is that? Did I not?
So he
see-
flipped into
on that,
Omnath, Fury, and 2 of those elemental things.
and the clues and a Sharplet's Agent.
So yeah, no, the Sharpness Agent just comes into play. It doesn't recast it.
No, it doesn't recast it, but
But-
it's a 2/2.
Yeah, but I mean, Dryad's dead. Omnath's in play. Omnath, all the lands trigger, I think.
So it deals 4. I believe Omnath deals 4 to each player and each planeswalker.
Yep.
I would need an IV of Monster Energy Drink to follow all this.
He also
if I was
gets
playing this
4
deck.
treasure tokens.
Yeah. Now I know
Where are the treasure tokens coming from?
The Wave Sifter.
the Wave
Oh, the
Sifter's
Wave
expansion.
Sift. Oh, that's 2 of them?
Yeah, so he got 4 treasure tokens off the
Holy
top. So in all honesty, he could recast a Glimpse for completely more value going into right now. But at this point, I don't think he needs
Does
to,
he need to?
because the opponent only has 4 lands.
And does Omnath hit planeswalkers as well?
Yes,
Yeah.
So is the Ren still?
the Wrench should be dead.
And I think it's.
But he's gonna
He's
bounce.
going to bounce it.
Yeah.
Well, the Ren could have been at 5.
Yeah.
It could have been at 5.
It's just better to get rid of it regardless of counters, because then it's just got to go back from scratch anyway.
And you have to put the mana into it. And when you're so far ahead, if you can make your opponent spend the extra 2 mana instead of doing whatever else.
You know what? I love all of the channel lands, because it just, like, even the bad channel lands are still neat.
What's the bad channel land, though?
I mean, I think technically, if you want to be technical,
I think if
the worst ones would technically
The red?
be Sokenzan Crucible or Aganja. Because Aganja
But they all get
doesn't-
played, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, in mono red, like, you just have extra things. It's like Den of the Bugbear. Worst case scenario, it's red's mana source. It's a mana source. And,
All right, it looks like Glimpse pulled it off.
yeah, Wimps did it. Wimps got
Because
it.
I know even in Pioneer on Rakdos midrange, I play a one of the red channel land.
Yeah,
And it's great.
yep.
I play Rakdos Ob Sac, and I play one of them, and it is beautiful.
Now, that's using not Nexus the adversary, right? Yeah, that, cool. That.
See, I use it in a way to just be able to, like, playing against control.
Yep.
If they have a Teferi or a Narset that
Yep.
they've tried to tick down to protect their creature, just go, during your instep, channel, make my 2/1/1s,
Beat you.
beat you.
Get you. Yep.
Or even if I don't have the mana, they have haste. So
Yeah,
even
that's
on my
the
turn, I can
thing.
still-
There is not a format or a couple archetypes that are not jamming one version of the other.